Hi everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. And if you're listening in the podcast, thank you so much for being here. Let me just adjust the mic a little bit. Anyways, thank you so much everybody who is here watching this on YouTube, for listening on the podcast. And I want to thank everybody who listens through the Apple podcast, which is probably my biggest audience. I do thank you so much for being here. I have to say, I do offer subscriptions, and I believe the price is just $2.99 a month. So you can go ahead and if you want to support this podcast or channel, there's an option where you can subscribe. You can also make a donation on my main website, Julissadesigns.com. I am so thankful that you have the time to come and listen to my podcast or to watch me here on YouTube. Really appreciate it. Please leave a comment. So I don't know if you guys remember, on my last episode I mentioned how I was speaking about the missing Netflix employee. He's still missing. There's really no update on him. There's no surveillance video, nothing like that, which is very weird, very suspicious, I think, right? Um, but anyways, I probably will make another episode about him. And I told you guys that in that episode I mentioned how God told me in a dream, to buckle up, right? And because I just feel like I have found myself praying for coverage, in the sense that I just kept praying, like, for the last 3 weeks of the month. Today is August 31st. It's the last day of the month, 2023. And it's like I have found myself praying, God, please keep me. I'm covered by the blood of Jesus. Found myself saying that over and over again. And I know, um, when my soul, right? The Bible says God knows what you're praying for before you even pray about it, right? And when my soul is so led to just pray for protection, or for, please cover me, Lord, don't, even praying, keep me in your hands, don't ever, never ever let me go. It's almost like my own soul is praying for that, because of what I'm sensing, what I'm seeing. And I remember in that dream, God, I had this dream, and God told me to buckle up. It's almost like, we're at the end of a month and we're entering September tomorrow, and it's almost like, I felt it when he said buckle up. It's like it's gonna get even worse, right? And let me just tell you something. There is a different kind of evil out there. We know evil. We know that people are evil. We know there are people who are so careless. They don't care the repercussions of their actions towards somebody. They just want to take their actions, and they're upset about something, and they don't care. They don't care if they tailgate you. Like, even yesterday, I was driving home. I had to literally pull quickly to the side to let this guy go, because if I didn't, like, he was gonna run me over. People have no patience anymore. People, like, just normal driving, people are just on a rush constantly. They don't care if you are not familiar with the road that you are, right? They don't care if you don't know that. They just want to tailgate you and, like, be behind you. That if you, God forbid, you see a deer or something, right? Where I live, and with the places that I normally go to, there are a lot of deers that come out. That's why I'm very cautious, right? Because I've seen them so often, the deers coming out to the road and stuff like that. So I try to be very cautious, right? So yesterday, this guy is just like, he didn't care. Like, I could have seen a deer, probably got into a car accident. He would have speed up straight ahead with no problem. People have whatsoever no care of what their actions can do to somebody, right? And we see it with people, like, over and over. They say they're gonna do something for you, and then they never show up. They don't care if you were waiting. It's just a different kind of evil. And yeah, we gotta pray every day. We have to pray for protection. People who are planting, assuming stuff about you, and they don't care if it's true or not. They just want other people to believe it, so that they can put you in a different light, and make other people believe negative things about you, right? And they are so careless these days. It's almost like they don't even have the decency to know, like, you know, everything that you do in the dark is gonna come to light at one point. Not only that, God is watching you, right? God sees everything that you do. God sees that you don't care about somebody. That you just, you know, you don't care what they're doing. You just expect them to be there for you. It's very like single-sided type of relationships, and it's just all this stuff that has been happening for the last couple months, and I found myself praying for protection, and then God said buckle up, and it's like, oh my goodness, what is going on, right? So I just want to say, you know, if you're dealing with something, just pray about it. God sees everything. God knows everything, and it's just a matter of time. You know, I'm not saying for you to be like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna get justice and all of that. I'm just saying that people think, sometimes you have to let people think that they're winning, right? It's like, let them run you over, let them run over your name, you know. Let them say everything like that. At the end of the day, like I said, God knows everything and God sees, right? So I'm gonna speak about something here, because like what I was saying before about that driver yesterday, people are so into getting their way these days that they don't care what their actions can do to somebody, right? I live in an apartment, as you can see, right? And I had dealt with neighbors, and I had dealt with people who are kind of like, you know, even moving here. I think within a month that I moved here, I actually found myself on a late Saturday night, like very like it was almost midnight, knocking on my neighbor's door downstairs to ask him to just lower the TV, because apparently, you know, they were watching some type of war zone movie or whatever it was, right? And it was like they had like this new sound system, right? It's like if you're so into watching movies, and you want to experience the whole theater in your home, right? People can do whatever they want in their home, but if that is what you're after, and you buy this expensive, you know, TV system, right, that you want to feel like you're right at the movies, how about you buy a house up in the woods and do all of that, but do not disturb the peace of somebody else, right? Like, I don't understand how people are okay with you, like you're the loudest, like there could be like five neighbors, right? And there's always that loud person who could care less who they disturbing, right? They don't care if, you know, if the new family has a new baby, like what I'm gonna speak to you guys about now. They don't care. They're just gonna slam their doors. They're gonna play the music super loud. They don't care. They are loud, and if you don't like it, move out, right? Just deal with it. There's no human respect anymore. People don't respect you. They don't care what you think. This is what they're gonna do, and if you don't like it, then too bad for you, right? Complete disrespect to humankind. And God says we're gonna see all of that in the last days, right? And the story that I'm gonna talk to you guys about today is about a neighbor, right? A 36-year-old man. Let me read to you guys. This is so crazy. A 36-year-old man was arrested after he allegedly was caught on camera injecting poison under the neighbor's home in Florida. Like, for there's so many things here, like for your neighbor to suspect that you're actually doing something evil to them on purpose, that they have to resort to even putting a camera to see what's going on, right? You know how long that probably took, right? For them to come to the realization something is not right here. Let's put a camera. Let's see what's going on. And then when they see the footage of their own neighbor who probably sees them in the hallway and is so friendly and, hey, how are you? Good to see you again. And this neighbor, you know, neighborly chatted thing about the weather. It could be anything, right? About the mail. And you see your neighbor doing such an evil act like that, you know, it's almost like witchcraft, you know, like people are doing witchcraft like crazy now. They don't, like, people are playing with fire and they don't care. Witchcraft and doing manipulative work like this is straight from hell. Is what the enemy does, is the what the demons do, and they're being partakers of that, and they really could care less about it. And so the family sees the neighbor putting a chemical under their doors. And they're like, that's why we're getting sick. Not only that, they have a brand new baby and they notice that they've been getting sick lately. And then they see their neighbor. Such a calculative move from a neighbor to inject a chemical in their doorstep so that their family can get sick. They don't care if let's say maybe one of the parents have asthma, already has a chronic condition that they're already struggling with. They don't care about anything like that. They don't care that they have a brand new baby either. It's like, you're disturbing me, so I'm gonna take it to a whole nother level. Like I said to you guys, it's a different kind of evil out there, and it's a careless, raw type of evil. And I know evil has always been bad, but this type of evil that we're seeing lately is just, I could care less what you think, but I don't care if you run over into a dish, because I'm following you so close that if you stop for 1 second, I don't care if you die, just move over the road or something like that, right? And this neighbor is injecting chemicals to this family's door, right? Like the door, the rug at the front door, and they have a brand new baby, and you probably see them coming in with mask or something, right? Probably going to the doctor, or coming with like pharmacy bags or something, and you're gonna keep injecting the drugs. Like, what is your end game, right? Evil acts that are into a different type of level. And the thing about this is that this was caught on camera. Like I said, there's a video out there that you can go ahead and look, right? I'm actually gonna see for the people here on YouTube if I can put that up for you guys. So if you're listening in the podcast, go ahead and look for Julissadesigns on YouTube, and you can see it in case you haven't seen it yet. But it's just craziness, right? It's a different type of evil, regardless of what their actions can cause a family to develop. Probably, maybe a brand new baby, like a newborn, and you injecting chemicals like that can damage that baby for life, all the way to death, and you are just careless. It's so sad, guys. It's almost like the enemy has released a different type of evil out there, and people, because they're not living with God, right? They're not asking God for forgiveness of their sins, having a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. They don't care anymore, so they're just gonna do evil acts. It's like, you hurt me, I'm gonna hurt you too. I can't sleep because the baby's crying all night. I'm gonna hurt you. Instead of, like, there are steps that you take when you're doing a noise complaint. There are civil steps that you take, right? And all the way to the, you don't want to get all the way to the town or court, but you can get there if nothing is being done, right? But everything in a civil matter, with letters and lawyers and people from the office, whatever it could be, right? So let me see if I can read to you guys. Let me tell you his name. Sumin Lee has been charged with injecting a chemical agent with a syringe under the door of the condo, according to the police report. The report states that Mr. Lee was seen injecting the liquid under the door at Atford Place at Tampa Palms on several occasions. So it's not like, I'm so upset today, let me just do this evil thing. It's almost like, when you're younger and you're ringing the neighbor's doorbell and you run away with all your friends laughing. And you do it once, and they come out and yell at you, and you're like, I'm never doing that again, because I don't want to get yelled at again. You learn your lesson. This guy, because he hasn't been caught, right, is gonna keep injecting this chemical. Like, what is his end game in this case, right? He wanted to make the family disappear or something. Evil acts is so sickening, okay? And it says here, the report states that Mr. Lee was seen injecting the liquid under the door at Ashford Place on several occasions. Testing revealed the liquid as the narcotics methadone and hydrocodone. which are used to treat pain. The side effects for both drugs may include restlessness, stomach pain, vomiting, breathing difficulties, skin issues, chest pain, diarrhea, hallucinations, and fainting. That's all he wanted for the family, including the newborn baby. This 36-year-old chemical guy, probably being praised by colleagues and fellow you know fellow students, for being so talented, and he knows so much about chemistry and all of that. Look what he did on his time, his free time. Such a calculated move. Like, there's a video, I'm looking at some of the photos from that video. It's so sad, and I'm so thankful that he got caught. And the thing is, like, people like this, when they get caught, right, um they probably regret it in briefly, but they were not expecting to get caught. He probably didn't think there was a camera around, even though these days everybody uses a ring door camera, right? What a smart move of the family to get a camera to do this, to see what's going on. That was very great move to do. I just gotta say, like, there's other people who do things in the dark, right? They do witchcraft, they do crazy stuff, right? And they think, because nobody sees it, their colleagues are not gonna tell anybody, they're gonna get away with it, right? It's like, whatever you're trying to hide, anything in life that you think you're hiding, you're doing it in the presence of the Lord, and He sees all of that. And just by me saying that, like, that should put the fear of the Lord in you. God forbid you're caught doing something like that. That's all biblical stuff, wishing harm to people, wishing to do harm to others, right? Slander, all of that stuff, right? Mr. Abdullah, this is the other neighbor with the newborn, right? As well as his wife and their child experienced shortness of breath, irritation of both the skin and the eyes after they inhaled the chemicals over a course of a month, right? Like I told you guys, for you to resort to put a camera to see something is odd here, you gotta know for a while, like, something is weird. Let me put a camera and see what's happening, right? An officer said investigating the home also suffered skin irritation and received medical care. Wow, so this house was completely infected by this chemical that even when the officers came out to help this family, one of them needed medical care. This is so crazy, guys. On July 19, 2023, the Oxford Place at Tampa Condominium Association filed a complaint against Mr. Lee in court for judgment of eviction. The association argues that Mr. Lee was in violation of his contract when he allegedly injected the chemicals. Allegedly, and there's the whole video there, right? The association have also requested that the court grant an injunction to mandate that Mr. Lee immediately cease and desist of any harassment or physical violence, assault, battery, intimidation, and quality of life, and that he pays $5,000 in damages and legal fees to the association. It is so sad, like I said to you guys, but you gotta pay attention, right? This family was smart enough to put a camera and to get this guy on video. Like, what a proof they have, right? Because he would have been like, oh yeah, imagine if the police were called and they, like, went door to door and say, and he probably would have played the game, right? He would have been like, oh yeah, I haven't been feeling good either, I don't know what's going on, something probably in the air or something, right? Because they're not gonna say anything, right? They don't want to get caught. And then he probably will resort to something probably more strong, right? Because he got, the people already calling the cops or something. But a smart move on this family that they resort to get a video camera, right? What I was saying was, be aware of your stuff, right? Because people think you don't notice stuff, right? People think you're so dumb, la la la, right? You don't notice stuff. Be aware who parks next to you. Be aware of your car. I'm not saying to live in a paranoid state, nothing like that, but be aware, right? The other day, I was like, I came home and I found something in the in my doorknob, right? I found something kind of like a brownish type of, it's almost like, it's so weird and it could be disgusting too, but it's almost like a type of peanut butter type of um spread on my doorknob, that it wasn't elaborate, it was still visible. I'm like, what is this thing? Like, wait a second, I would have noticed that. I would have washed my hands. I would have come out and cleaned it before I, because to close my door, I have to use the doorknob. So, what is this, right? And I'm like, this is so strange. And then I'm like, it could have been any kids playing around or something, but I don't know. I still don't know what that was, right? I eventually cleaned my door and all of that. So pray for protection. Like I said, God cover me. I'm covered, by the blood of Jesus, all of that. And pray and be aware. And if you have to put a camera out, just be smart about it. God gives you the wisdom and the discernment for a reason. You have to be smart about it, right? I'm almost running out of time, everybody, but I just want to say, just if you think, like a lot of people get sick, right? Somebody would have probably could have gone to the doctor and be like, I don't know what's wrong with me. And the minute you go to a doctor, like I said in one of my other episodes, and nothing wrong with that either, but I'm saying sometimes, we're looking for the answers, and a lot of the times, because the doctor wants to help you, they'll give you medication for something that you're gonna keep having, and then it's your own neighbor who's like poisoning you. So you could have, good thing, like I said, this family put a camera, they know the answer, then you have to go to a doctor, get medicated for their symptoms, probably put the baby into something, like some type of treatment. Thanks be to God for that, because we know with every other medication that you take, what does it have? It has a side effect, right? Not everything works the same on everybody, so you have to look out for that, right? So good thing that this family was smart enough to put a camera and caught this guy. And you need to look at his photo, okay? Because if you rent apartments or something, this guy is he's not gonna go to the homeless shelter now, right? This guy he's a he's 36-year-old chemistry student. He's studying something that is very lucrative, right? So he's not gonna, he's probably gonna pop up somewhere, right, in other people, apartment or something. We don't know if people like if he repented from this, right? So you need to know who he is, because you don't know who might move in or something, right? So just be aware of that. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming back to my channel and listening in the podcast. Have a good day, everybody. God bless. Hi everybody, this is Julissa. I'm here to invite you to my podcast, Julissadesigns, and it can be found on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. You can join me every day as I make episodes of the latest news, real life stories, and I also share my favorite Bible verse. Hope to see you then. God bless. Everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much for coming to my YouTube channel. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And if you want to know more about me, you can always visit www.julissadesigns.com. Have a great day, everybody. God bless.